The secret to Holiday Rambler's excellent performance is the legendary chassis, the Roadmaster.
A coach chassis is like the foundation of a house. It supports the walls, the wiring, and the plumbing, but unlike a house, it has to be supportive while driving down the road, sometimes in adverse conditions. A coach chassis has to be stable, versatile, and very strong. That's why Holiday Rambler designs and builds their own Roadmaster chassis, the finest in the industry, and a fundamental reason for Holiday Rambler's success. The Roadmaster is specifically designed to be a coach chassis, and nothing but a coach chassis. This is not a converted garbage truck or bus chassis as some RVs are. In fact, this highly respected chassis is actually designed and custom built specifically for each floor plan and length. This allows us the opportunity to make more efficient use of the area within the chassis, such as pass-through storage areas. The two main rails are both thicker and spread wider apart than most conventional chassis to give you a more stable platform. The Roadmaster chassis uses an active suspension that automatically adjusts the air pressure of the airbags while you drive. Ride height sensors are used to detect lean or instability and then distribute air to the low side to stabilize the coach. This virtually eliminates the side-to-side body sway customarily associated with high wind conditions, curvy roads, or emergency maneuvers. Like a typical independent front suspension system, or IFS for short, the Roadmaster's outboard-mounted suspension components actually respond independently from one another. But unlike an IFS chassis, the Roadmaster provides quicker recovery against body sway and nosedives. This is because of the increased leverage associated with the suspension being wider side to side and longer front to rear. Also, the Roadmaster uses two airbags to lift versus a typical IFS suspension which uses only one at the forward wheel positions. Our 8-bag system also provides better energy absorption and less suspension deflection. In addition to reducing unwanted bounce and sway, this design reduces the amount of pressure needed to inflate the airbag back to its original level position. The airbags and shock absorbers are mounted on H-frames that allow the coach to ride on air. Control arms keep the axle in line while letting the H-frame move to absorb the bumps and dips in the road. Using H-frames also allows the airbags and shock absorbers to be mounted 2 feet in front of the front axle and 2 feet behind the rear axle. This results in less nosediving during hard braking. It also allows a shorter wheelbase for a tighter turning radius. The steering unit with hydraulic assist allows for a tight, easy-to-manage turning angle. A unique rear axle tilt perfectly aligns the entire drivetrain to minimize stress and reduce noise. The low position of the engine, along with the all-steel firewall and front-mounted generator, add up to a coach that is better balanced for greater stability and superior braking. The Roadmaster chassis suspension is truly a remarkable performer, but best of all, it has fewer moving parts, requires less maintenance, and is easier to align at most service centers. The combination of the potent 400 horsepower Cummins turbo diesel and the Allison 6-speed transmission team up to give you plenty of smooth, solid power. Maintaining speed, even when going uphill, is no problem for this coach. It's cooled by systems that exceed the demands placed on them, thanks to superior radiator space for maximum cooling effort. By using aluminum as opposed to steel, our radiators weigh less, are more resistant to corrosion, and provide a better heat transfer ratio. It all adds up to better performance, superior fuel economy, and less overheating, especially on long uphill grades. The unique design of the Roadmaster chassis allows for easier access for technicians. That means shorter repair times, and that means you save time and money. At Holiday Rambler, we know the only thing as important as how well a coach travels is how well it stops. The dual air brake system assures plenty of stopping power on steep grades with anti-lock brakes to help stay in control. ABS brakes on the front and rear minimize stopping distances. In addition, automatic traction control reduces slippage in slick conditions. All of these features add up to the smoothest, safest, and most stable ride in the industry. With the Roadmaster chassis, you'll suffer far less driver fatigue and arrive at your destination feeling fresh. Crosswinds are handled with confidence. There are no white-knuckle rides in this coach. Because we build both the house and the chassis, we never stick the customer between a chassis manufacturer and a motorhome manufacturer. Holiday Rambler owners get one-point service accountability. If something goes wrong with the coach, we can fix it. Now, let's look at what goes on this great chassis. To construct the floor, we start with silicone applied to the chassis as an effective barrier to road spray. On the silicone, we place a layer of Darco for waterproofing, followed by a layer of Luan. On the Luan is a steel frame filled with blue foam insulation. A layer of structure board is added, and finally, half-inch carpet pad, carpeting, and tile is installed. The result is a floor of sturdy elegance. Above the easy-to-clean padded vinyl ceiling is a multi-layered roof that adds strength and comfort to the coach in all seasons. Above the vinyl is a layer of bead foam, a layer of foam core, and a LumaFrame filled with fiberglass insulation. A vapor barrier is added, followed by wedge foam insulation, a layer of Luan, and finally a peaked one-piece fiberglass roof crowned for water runoff. This roof is designed to keep your coach warm, dry, and quiet. Behind the attractive wallpaper, the wall consists of a layer of Luan, a layer of bead foam insulation, and a vapor barrier. And a LumaFrame filled with insulation is utilized, along with an additional layer of Luan. And finally, the fiberglass exterior. The key component is our exclusive LumaFrame substructure. By double welding each intersection and using clever interlocking techniques connecting the walls and roof, a LumaFrame combines superior strength and durability and weight savings. Finally, in our desire to provide the best customer service, Holiday Rambler provides quick start guides to help you learn the basics of coach operation and care.
Luxury, innovation, and style. It's easy to see why the Holiday Rambler is such a sought-after motorhome. It's a technical marvel wrapped in luxury and is backed by Holiday Rambler's legendary service. So go ahead, treat yourself. You deserve it. This is living
the Endeavor, a performance leader among today's luxury coaches.